Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, boys and girls. How are we doing? Welcome in. Welcomes. Sorry, I'm late today. I'm late. Amalamas was being an absolute terrorist this morning, but she's chilling. She's chilling now. I took the opportunity to take a shower, but it's all good. It's all good. It's Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Sun's been out as well today. Raining first thing this morning, but the sun's out, which is very nice. Maybe one of the last sort of nice weather days, I reckon, we might see before, proper autumn starts. Righty. Righty-roo. Let's get the game open, shall we? Have a little looky where we're at. Where's the flipping alpha? Tell me about it, man. It's We're creeping in on the end of September at this point, and we don't have an alpha yet. Alpha is going to clash so hard with Remix. I don't even know where I'm going to focus my attention in October at this rate. It's going to be absolutely wild. Luckily, the weather will probably get terrible, and I'll have no desire to go outside, so it'll be fine. Right. I have no idea what the plan of action is for today. Other than one thing I do know I want to do. I want to work a little bit more on getting the professions leveled. That includes the War Within professions. So let's start with some patron orders first thing. Might have to check some realms for some deals, because if we don't keep buying stuff, we won't have much stuff to sell. Do I open up the other accounts now, or do I wait until I actually need them? I think we wait till we actually need them. Yeah, we'll wait until we actually need them. Equinox today. So half a year of longer nights coming up. Oh, is this the turning point, is it? Is that what it is? Let's see. Half a year of longer nights coming. Oh boy. Well, I like my sleep. I don't mind hibernating. It's all good. It's all good. That is until it gets to like February, and I've not seen the sun for 4 months, and I'm starting to go a funny colour. But it's fine. It's fine. Right, let's get some patron orders done first. Let's get some patron orders done. I'm starting at the bottom today. We'll work our way backwards, because we'll end up on this dude again a little bit later, because we still have Legion, BFA, Shadowlands, Alchemy, and Engineering to chip away at. We might use our buddy, our pal, Zygor to fix that. 20% off with code monthly. #ad. Why can I not use the table? Hello? Why am I not allowed to use the table? Oh, haha, because I'm not a scribe. That would be why. Can't use the table because I'm at the wrong table. Good start, isn't it? Do we have any game sound? There we go, game sound. Slow day in the office, it seems, for Wowhead. The posts are talking about nothing. Well, Wowhead seemed to operate on a relatively traditional Monday through till Friday kind of thing. They post very little over the weekend. Very little. And anything they do post is usually, yeah, just rubbish. Just absolute rubbish. Not that half their articles aren't, vendor trash in the first place. Craft Sim, Craft Q. Something did crop up on Wowhead, actually. Speak of the devil. that caught my eye, and it's something that I'd never actually tested on Remix. It was that Mythic Plus has deterministic gear in Remix, so each key level has an assigned item level of gear that you get from it. It's not random, nor does it care about what your current gear is. Meaning that boosting in Mythic Plus is absolutely going to be a thing to catch alts and friends, lobby characters up, I'd assume. But something that did also catch my eye with that is that the key level you need to do to get the best gear is actually ludicrous. Ludicrously borderline impossible ludicrous. This means that Mythic Plus might be an early way to kind of get past the hump of like real grindy gearing, but it's not going to be a great system for actually min-maxing your gear, pushing it all the way to item level 740. Since I think the Wowhead post claimed, and I never tested this myself, but they believe that to get 740 gear you need to be doing a plus 63 key, which I can tell you, unless they do some serious rebalancing, is not happening ever. 63 keys are not going to be a thing, even if you are fully geared. Never mind as a way to actually gear up. So that might change my opinion slightly on how you are going to gear up in an optimal way. But you certainly will still use Mythic Plus, I think, in the first week or two. It's a relatively easy gearing system. Right, all of those orders are terrible. But yeah, Wowhead kind of don't really have much to say over the weekend because most of their... It's so funny, World of Warcraft has very, very slowly become a 9 to 5 for so many people that even the big content creators take the weekends off. Big content creators take the weekends off, article writers, websites, you know, forums, like everybody takes the weekend off. Which, when you consider that most games have an uptick in the player base during the weekend, because regular Joe who works a 9 to 5 then gets to play the games at the weekend. Kind of odd. Kind of odd. I mean, I've always taken Saturday and Sunday as days where I am maybe playing games, but not overly public in whatever it is I'm doing. Do we just not do those? Shadowing, spears, ciphers. Quickly grab out all of these. Yes, I know. Even the vendor mats. Quicker and easier to buy them all. Where did that window go? Crafting window just randomly disappeared. Scribe 2. Clearly an alt. Scribe 2. At least you'll be able to see from the character select screen what professions they've got. Meta mage, flipping hell. Players' characters, man. What's going on with this funky order here? You are 2 knowledge points, but absolutely no way am I spending that gold on 2 knowledge points. Feels like people are already done with the season, the market's quiet and the sales are slow. I would... Well, let's not forget, it was only 7 days ago that Blasphemites were still, you know, gone through the moon to the moon and back. So it's kind of like, I know stuff changes quickly, but there's probably still some legs yet. But everything is going to get squeezed. Everything's going to get pushed down in price now. You're probably not. You're probably not far off. Especially now we have the confirmed announcement of 11.25 going live and what's coming with it. It will mean a lot of people are like, right, I'll chill now. I'll go do something else until Turbo Boost kicks in. Like my efforts right now are diminished when I could do the same thing in like 2 weeks' time and get twice as much out of it. Lazy Day, thank you very much for the tier 1. I appreciate that. For your 2 months. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Good morning. 2 weeks till Legion. Yeah. It's, unironically, it's not a terrible time to take a break as well either. If you have been playing a lot so far in Season 3, now is the opportune time to take a bit of a chill for a couple of weeks. I myself have been playing Borderlands a bunch. I had a huge amount of Borderlands last week. Overall, really enjoyed it. Still really enjoying it. Still got loads of it to do. But if you're, you know, if gaming is your hobby and nothing more, now's a perfect time to just, like, chill out for a little bit. It's nice to be in a position where there's, like, far too much to do. But equally, it's also good when there is opportunities to, like, you know, just relax a little bit. Because it's very easy to take this game way too seriously. Oh, she's literally right under the camera, actually. Here. Is nomming a stick. We did end up with stick number 2. New stick, yes. It was new stick day yesterday. Level 25 in Borderlands 4. I don't know, what am I, like 29, 30, something like that. But I've not been pushing particularly hard. I've been taking it very chill. I feel as if I'm barely out the first zone, to be honest. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. 30 points. Enough to fill a node if I want to. Maybe I'll just leave it until I do actually want to. About tailoring. 27 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes to go. That's what, quick maths, 100 points. So we're a few weeks away from having tailoring done. She's grown loads. Yeah, we weighed her again yesterday. She's putting on like half a kilo a week. She's definitely growing fast. She gets just as much food as the big dogs. Just as much food as the big dogs, even though she's like a third of the size. She's, yeah, while she's growing quickly. Hey, what's going on here? Kicked off a hype train. I appreciate that. Thank you. Ah, Fruit Bat. Thank you very much for using the Prime. I appreciate that. Thank you. Back to YouTube because premium. Hey, no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's make sweet, sweet profit together.
Oh, Mr. Norton with the gifties. My man, thank you very much. Good morning to you. Thank you, thank you.
Let's make sweet, sweet profit together.
This is how all Mondays should go. By this pace, you're gonna beat K-Chak with the billions. The stream title's just a bit of a meme at this point. If you haven't noticed, I'm just adding 1 to it every day. Technically, it's all true. For Alma's Yummies, I appreciate it. I'll make sure to take it to the dog shop at some point during the week. He likes visiting the dog shop. Surprise, surprise. $100 gold for some 100 gold for some custom orders. See, wow, you provided everything, but you only provided quality 2 everything. So in that case, you're not going to get quality 5 back, are you? The fact that I even did it for 100 gold is questionable. It's because there's no other orders to do. You're 1 knowledge point. You're not even a knowledge point. You're not. Yeah, okay. Can those. Sorry, blacksmithing. No love for you today. No love for you. Or a new stick. She deserves a new stick. She's nomming a new stick right now. Pretty good at finding sticks. She found this one on our walk. This wasn't even one from our garden. She's like, stick? Me and you be friends, okay? She's the same colour as that rug, look. She's the same colour as the rug now. She's like, big stick or little stick? Not sure. Yeah, she's camoed. Pretty well camoed.
Let's make sweet,
like
sweet
normal.
profit together.
Apple is just chilling. She's in full chill mode. Nipsu, you probably can't see because my ass is in the way. Nips was in the background there. Yes. Back to flops. Back to flops. Okay, doing some cleaning. This is likely to get X-rated. Chris, thank you very much for the biddies. I appreciate those. Thank you. Lady Daisy, good morning, good morning. You need to make a 24-hour Alma stream one day. What, an Alma subathon? I mean, that's maybe I'll do a Kai Sinat and I'll have every sub equal 3 seconds and then complain when people don't sub enough. Like 1 sub adding 3 seconds onto a subathon is absolutely outrageous. A leatherworking order. Full mats, fully loaded. Bish bash bosh, 2.5k tip. Equip +2 sparkle. Where's that come from? What the fuck does +2 sparkle mean? How's that work? Dude called Darth Microtransaction. I think he streamed for like 16 days straight when PoE New League started. Yeah, I know Darth Microtransaction. He blew up with Diablo Immortal. Okay, turns out the rest of them are absolutely trashed here then. Original crafting. Yeah, people love a good subathon these days on Twitch, you know. Love a good subathon. I've never done one. I can't really see me doing one if I'm honest. Mostly because I'm not that hardcore of a Giga Chad gamer anymore. You lot know me. It's like I do my 3, 4, 5 hour streams, and then you know, like it is very rare on occasion I do ever more than 5 hours in a go. And I'm certainly not doing weird and wacky things like whacking a bed out and sleeping on stream and doing all that craziness. No. I have real life commitments. I have 3 dogs and a wife and a house to make sure doesn't fall down. Like, I cannot be messing around doing that sort of rubbish. Don't have time. So wheel. Rollied. You're like 62 now, you've got to get that sleep in. I know, right? Can't be 62 and have skin this smooth without some serious sleep. Can understand the dogs, but wife, she can take care of herself. You would think. Is that an order for a recipe I didn't have? Cognitive bloodstone recipe. Was not providing the flipping bloodstone in the first place, but is that the last and final recipe I need for Jung? Oh, there's 2. Both the enduring and the cognitive one. I should just do a bit of a scout around and find one of these on the cheap, shouldn't I? Buy these last 2 recipes. There's no way I'm going to get them any other way. That, alongside my ever elusive elemental lariat recipe. Do I not have this recipe? Oh my god. I should just go buy the damn thing. 3 marks of honor. What was in me hype chest? Frog, wow. Oh, I got one of the new emotes. Got me a new frog emote. These were added last week, I think. Right. That's patron orders done. There's significantly far too much in my flipping quest log. Oh, you know what? I bet I haven't done, like, any more than 1 vault this week, have I? I bet I've done nothing this week. Yeah, I've literally done 1 tier 11 vault this week. Whoops. This is the Borderlands effect. The Borderlands effect has got to me. Well, in that case, we have to do at least a delve, don't we? At least a delve. Oh, we got the archives quest to hand in. That's a good one to get my spark as well. More weird emotes that nobody will ever use. GG Twitch. I mean, I can't say anything. My selection of emotes is weak at the best of times. Did I not get... I thought it was full Spark Week this week. I wonder if I've missed one. We only need Rip. Okay, sure. I love the potato emotes. Those are coffee beans, but they do look like potatoes. Technically, they are potatoes. But they're close. Right. Delve. We need to do an 11. I need to do at least 2 11s, to be fair. And the reality is I should probably get them done today. Otherwise, I probably won't. That's real bad mojo. That's good. That would set me really far behind. Earthcrawler Mines, the Waterworks, Archival Assault. Don't really like Archival Assault. Mycomancer Cavern. The reality is I don't really like any of these. In that case, then let's just pick a random one and let RNGesus select for us. If you had to guess, what do you think will make big gold at midnight? Well, this early on, before literally anything has ever has been confirmed, I will hedge my bets on whatever ends up being new, as that tends to be the thing, right? Whatever ends up being new tends to be the thing that makes the gold. Look at concentration alts. This expansion, for example, made a lot of gold with concentration alts. Why? Because it's new, and most people are very, very, very slow to react to whatever's new. Dragonflight, what made a lot of gold? Well, professions in general made a reasonable amount of gold for people. Because of the fact that nobody could figure out flipping knowledge points and all this sort of business for ages. Pretty much the meta revolves around whatever's new. Now, if they don't change or add or really do much for midnight other than simplify things, it might be difficult to say, but I have a suspicion that everybody is going to think that concentration alts are going to be big business. And while it's relatively safe in assumption, that concentration will still be a thing. What I would say is that it's going to be probably more of a priority for Blizzard to balance concentration better this time. Because the only reason concentration works is a balance thing, really. Hence why some professions work better than others with concentration. They all have concentration, but some are balanced in a way so that, you know... Well, the reason... You know, it's a multi-layer thing to why enchanting concentration alts are the meta, because they're quick to level up. They benefit more than nearly any other profession from concentration because of the sheer quantity of materials that are needed on crafting a certain item. And the way that the enchanting materials are generated means that it has pretty much always been a higher price difference between quality 2 and quality 3 than most other materials. So this is something that Blizzard could easily balance out, and imagine if all professions ended up something more similar to like how, I don't know, inscription is with concentration. It could be very easily balanced in that way. Then would you find quite so many people singing its praises and stacking up alts to do it? I don't know. Time will tell. When we get an alpha, when we see the beta, we might start to get a better impression, or a sneak peek if nothing else, about what might be valuable, but it's guesswork at this point. Do you think housing will be big gains? Short term. Housing will be a phase. Much like Dark Moon cards and trinkets were a phase. at the beginning of most expansions. I think housing will be quite a phase thing as well. I don't think there's going to be any limitation with how many decor items you can craft and sell. And I think the recipes are the most likely thing to be hard to get. But even then, I don't think Blizzard has much reason to make the recipes that hard to get, because they want as many people as possible to be able to do housing. They don't want to make it, you know, a high barrier to entry. What I think they do probably want, and this is why I think that the lumber material is going to be a soulbound or warbound at best material. It's because I think Blizzard are going to want people to go out and do a lot of the work to craft the decor items themselves, which might take away a lot of the sort of value of them to sell on the auction house. Alternatively, if the materials do end up being warbound, you'll if you're willing to go out and farm your lumber to make your decor items to then sell, you might find that the profit margin on them is more respectable for a bit longer. But I'm still not convinced that housing will make huge gold forever. But depends what we're able to do with it, really. Alpha's getting a bit late. Definitely not the few short weeks that Ian said. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been it's been over 4 weeks now since we've had the midnight announcement, which is, yes, in my books at least, by my understanding of the English language, that is more than a few short weeks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just going to use the Warlords of Draenor lumber farm mechanic and system. But they'll just make the lumber warbound so that you have to do it yourself. And they'll probably just put some trees. They'll dot some trees around in the different zones in the different expansions. They might even make a lumber specific to each expansion to sort of incentivize you to go different places to go get it. But I don't think they're going to make the system particularly difficult or time-consuming. Alpha and Lemix clashing wouldn't be ideal. I mean, it's absolutely definitely going to clash. It's absolutely definitely going to clash. This is kind of like, I hate to say it, but this is maybe part of the reason why some time gating in Remix ultimately is not a terrible thing for me. Because I will be torn between what I focus on. If they release the alpha at exactly the same time as Remix, that's actually catastrophic, though, and it's a really dumb thing to do, because alpha is predominantly an advantage for content creators, as content creators get the ability to have that first peek at what's going on and share what's going on with their communities. A select amount of players also do get access to the alpha that's chosen randomly. Because obviously they want at least a certain amount of people in there. It's no good if it's only content creators running around. But at the same time, the hype of Remix will also very heavily be weighted on content creators. So having the two clash dramatically is not a great idea. But I genuinely believe the alpha should have probably already come out already. I think there's something internal to why they haven't launched it yet. Whether it's almost as if they might feel the need to like lock off certain aspects of the alpha, maybe like housing, so that all of the housing stuff doesn't get fully leaked before housing goes live. I think they probably want a more controlled launch of housing. And to do so, if they go and throw the alpha out there miles ahead of time, they might want to be trying to carefully lock off housing stuff from the alpha, potentially. I don't know. Which might take more time than they planned or something. I don't know. It definitely feels to me like alpha should have already come out, but there's some reason to why it hasn't. Which we'll never know. Because, you know, it's probably not to be public knowledge for a reason. What if alpha comes out tomorrow along with Diablo 4 Season 10? I mean, I didn't play the last 8 seasons, so I don't think I'm too fussed about that, honestly. I think they gave some content creators private alpha. Well, there is what's called Friends and Family, which is pre-alpha, I guess, where you're under NDA and it's not public, which that's been going on for ages. But under normal circumstances, most content creators aren't getting in that. That's strictly very, very early days, very, very well trusted sort of people.
Oh, Bran's got your back.
That is probably where they get a lot of the actual professional sort of QA and alpha testing done. Because if alpha ends up being anything like it was in Dragonflight and The War Within, it'll be very well structured and organized. Alpha used to be an absolute mess. It used to literally just be like, here is our first go at this zone. There was no textures on anything, and it was a real mess. It used to be a real mess, but they cleaned it up an awful lot. I think it was with Dragonflight the first time they like did it quote unquote properly. It used to be an absolute shit show, but now it does feel a lot more polished. And a lot more like a lot more planned, as such as they want to test certain things in certain weeks and get feedback on certain aspects, and so they give only portions of it out at a time. The War Within Alpha released 2 weeks after 10.2.7. So it's arguably still early for Alpha. But we were also doing Season 4 things then, where we're not this time. The turnaround from 11.2.7 to turnaround from 11.2.7 to pre-patch is going to be much faster this time, because they're not trying to stretch it out. They're actually, from what I can gather, they're actually trying to make sure that expansions are shorter. As I believe that they're pushing slowly but surely towards a 12-month expansion turnaround. Which will be weird if they can get it to that point, because a 12-month expansion turnaround will basically mean, like, you'll be... By the time the hype of the new expansion starts to die down, it'll almost be testing phase for the next one kicking off again. I wonder why they've said nothing about Draenor or the next classic stuff. Don't know. I mean, there's big question marks whether they'll even bother with a Warlords of Draenor classic in the same structure that it is now. The mutterings and the talkings of what they're looking to do with Mop Classic in terms of like merging to like Mega Server and this sort of thing might mean that they have a very different plan for what's going on going forward. The nuclear approach to all the private servers again recently could be an indication that they're clearing out the competition to bring everybody in for a Classic Plus style announcement or something. Wouldn't take a genius to guesstimate something like that happening.
Fantastic! You're looking a bit rough. Take a wee rest.
Not keen on the faster expansions. I just see it's encouraging more copy-paste mentality from Blizzard. Follow the money though, man. Follow the money. Why release an expansion every 2 years, every 18 months, when you can release one every 12 months and make more money? Like, everything works on a yearly cycle. They want you to be buying a game once a year. They want you to be subscribing for 12 months of that year. They want to eliminate any need or any possibility for downtime in that sub. Yeah, they do not want to. This is a new pet. Wriggle, a pet I genuinely didn't have. From Delves, my god. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind they want to go to a 12-month thing. Nothing else around here. Right. Technically, need to do one more tier 11 in order to make sure I at least get my gilded for the week. Then I technically should blast out a bunch of 8s as well to fill the vault, but not sure if I've got the enthusiasm for that. I'm going to be honest, I am totally done with doing delves now. So much so that I'm doing the absolute bare minimum to make sure that I get the small little bits and pieces that are still valuable out of them. Much after that, I'm like, ugh, nah, I'm done with delves. I haven't got brand maxed out yet. I haven't got my journey maxed out yet. These are things that might not happen this season.
For nature's gifts.
Worked out so well for Destiny 2. Yeah, but look at how many other things it has actually worked. Like Call of Duty, they spit out a new Call of Duty once every year and it makes them an absolute fucking butt ton of money. Like, it's... And even if it doesn't work, like, they're going to do it anyway to find out whether it does or doesn't work. They're not going to not do it because it might not work. That's not how business works. That's not a thing. They'll do it and then find out whether it works or not and go from there. But because they'll do it and because they'll make a bunch of money by doing it the first time, they'll be incentivized to do it a second time, whether it works or not. Because shareholders. How many delves or bountiful delves have you completed? I mean, tiny quantity. 340 apparently. The expansion is going to be before 30th of June or a little bit early. No. The 30th of June is just legal mumbo jumbo. Not going to live. It's not going to release in June. It'll be out February, March latest. They have to when selling you something that you're not going to have access to until a day in the future, it's a legal requirement that they tell you what is the worst case scenario. And so it's just legal mumbo jumbo. It's the midpoint in the year. They always pick the midpoint of the year or the end of the year. It's just legal mumbo jumbo. It's got no reference on when they actually plan on releasing it. Most people who have got a reasonable idea of what's going on are saying February, March latest. As that timeline just seems to make sense with everything they're doing. I did 1,000 in half of season 1. Yeah, I've done my fair share of delves, but I've never felt the need to. What's going on here? Why am I?
We all have our tasks. You don't look busy enough.
There we go. Never felt the need to do huge quantities of delves.
You got to dodge. Help hang in there. Can't end like this.
Oh shit, that was a good start, wasn't it?
I know you can do better than that.
Destiny fumbled their content, in my opinion. I played Destiny a little bit. Never for very long. I reasonably enjoyed it. But there was a point, and I can't remember what point, where I think I got to the point basically where progression was fundamentally impossible outside of an organized raid group, and at that point I just put it down. This was years ago. I can't even remember if that was when it was still under Blizzard ownership, or was it Activision ownership? I can't even remember. In other words, I don't really know enough about it to have much of an opinion.
That device keeps us safe from the poison. Hold on to it.
I probably shouldn't pull the entire zone, but I do need to kind of remember this isn't 11 and I'm not indestructible, as was proven a minute ago. When most of my playtime in the last week has been killing rares in the Undermine, where I just nuke them, I kind of forget that I'm not OP all the time. Farm out 10 dungeons for some mogs, post some auctions, go into Path of Exile 2 for now, wait for the dungeon knockout and then repeat. That's quite funny.
Found a bit of gold.
I was thinking earlier, because a question popped up on the WoW Economy subreddit yesterday, day before. I don't know, can't remember. But a simple question on whether just buying materials is the right choice or whether it's worth buying raw materials and processing up. Vertical integration for the educated. And putting a little bit more thought into it, it's made me realize that crafting is now basically become so optimized with the addition of the region-wide auction house that if you only have one account, you probably shouldn't bother with crafting. Because it's going to end up taking you substantially more time to realize any profits from crafting than even going out herbing and mining at most parts of the expansion. If you don't have a second, third, fourth, fifth account to do your crafting on, where you can just kind of leave those accounts AFK doing some sort of processing, because there's enough people out there now that are doing exactly that, and because of the region-wide auction house crushing margins on everything to single digits, you basically on a single account have very little reason to do crafting, unless you absolutely want to spend 18 hours a day and do nothing else in the game. If you actually want to go do your delves and you want to raid with your guild and you want to, you know, play the more active aspects of the game, crafting, you pretty much cannot craft at big enough scale. There's just not enough hours in the day to make it worthwhile. I think it's a real tricky situation Blizzard have on their hands with this. I doubt they are planning to, and I doubt they will do anything about it. But I do wonder if they need to do something with crafting and professions in general to neutralize the effects of the region-wide auction house. Or whether because, you know, or whether just because supply and demand will do its thing, and that if enough people get pissed off with doing it, that they won't do it, that leaves value in doing it for those that do decide to do it. Whether they, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, other than I think that giving us the region-wide auction house and then simultaneously giving us a full profession revamp, dropping two things on top of us at once. Dragonflight was a transition period where people were figuring this shit out. But there was the downsides of that the crafting system was still a bit whack because inspiration was flipping horrible. Making 2/3 of the product be waste product to the 1/3 of product that you actually wanted, that actually held value, was a frustrating system for most. But with the War Within, with everything being smoothed out a little bit, the addition of concentration, the crafting system having its, like, having some tuning. But it has made crafting so optimized now that I can't possibly even think how average Joe has any chance of spinning a profit with most crafting. Because I know the maths, I know the numbers, I know what you need to do, and I know what what needs to have been done in order to put yourself in a position where profit can be had. And if you're able to spread that load out across 2 or 3 accounts, it might be worth doing. But on a single account, locking up your entire account, just think of it from the perspective of, if you now have to buy cloth, you have to unravel the cloth, turn it into spools. You have to turn those spools then into bolts. You then probably need to turn those bolts into exquisite bolts. And then you need to use those exquisite bolts to either sell or craft something else with. So that's a 3, if not 4-step process, each of which is going to take a bunch of time. Even with 75% crafting speed, it still takes time to do each step of that process. If it takes you an hour to do each step of that process, and you can still only spin like a 10% profit out the back of it, it just genuinely is not worth the time or the effort that it takes to do it.
That's treasure close by.
Because spending 4 hours herbing or mining has 0 risk and will still net you 15k an hour. 4 hours herbing and mining, even at 15k an hour, is still going to make you 60k. 4 hours of unraveling cloth, turning it into spools, crafting into bolts, crafting into exquisite bolts, maybe doing some disenchanting to do the full process in order to make you exquisite bolts first. Like, all of these steps of the process on one single account is so time consuming, I can't see why anybody would bother doing it. Only because there's players like myself and some of you guys clearly who can spread that load out across 2 or 3 accounts and then do it whilst they're off playing the game. Does it even become feasible to consider? Never mind profitable. My opinion, crafting isn't working for mainstream casual players. It needs another redesign to make it more accessible. See, the problem is I don't think it's not the crafting system that's the problem. It's the accessibility of, like, it's an accessibility and availability issue. The system is more rooted in the region-wide auction house. If we had the exact same crafting system, as we have right now, if nothing changed with the crafting system, yet everything was then sold on individual realms again, you would find many more people would be able to extract a profit from the crafting system, without a doubt. I truly believe that the root cause of the problem is more rooted in the region-wide auction house. Because everybody crafting and everybody selling within the same pool means you've got an entire region's worth of players. So no wonder the margins get absolutely crushed to single digits so very quickly. But there's no denying that the region-wide auction house, for the perspective of the end consumer, is the best possible solution. Because it means if you play on the most populated server in the region, or you play on the lowest populated server in the region, your cost of potions, enchants, gems, consumables are exactly the same. Which is, unfortunately, fair. It's just not good for the crafting system. But it's not the fault of the profession system. Which is why I don't think there's actually a solution to this. And hence why the market has inevitably been basically monopolized by players who do have multiple accounts in order to spread the time load out. Because if you've got 5 accounts, you know, you can AFK the shit out of the process and do it 4 or 5 times more efficiently while still playing the game on your main account. The only way I did it was with the third account, just standing there doing all of that shit. Got tired of it and stopped. Yeah, see, this is the point, right? If you can offload that restriction to second, third accounts, where the time spent matters less because you're still getting value out of the time spent on the main account. What if crafting becomes a one-click, one-craft? You mean more like disenchanting, for example? All crafting became one-click, one-craft. And I don't know if that would only benefit people that have multiple accounts even further. It feels like it would.
Get out of the way!
Because even disenchanting on 4 accounts is significantly more efficient than doing it on 1. Because the time it takes to do 1 disenchant, you've clicked disenchant on 3 other accounts. You are still getting 4 times the efficiency out of it. You're still able to disenchant 4 times as many things in the same period of time. The other solution is they go the complete other way, which is that they don't lock you down to standing there whilst a bar fills up when you do 10,000 crafts. For example, if you bought 10,000 cloth and you wanted to unravel it all to spools, you could set the action going, and then you could go away and play the rest of the game, and then once the time has passed, the materials end up in your mailbox. So it would still have the exact same crafting time. It wouldn't lock you standing at the crafting table while that processing was happening. Time gate crafting. Well, crafting already is time gated. Every single item still has a crafting time. It's just that that time could be added up and then automated to run in the background while you go off and play the game. I still think there's problems with either of those solutions. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure if there even is a solution to this. Time to bring back mission tables. But since every time we have a brand new expansion, the optimization of professions gets higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And we're already at a point now when... What's the point of doing this when I've only got to kill the boss anyway? We're at the point now where professions are so goddamn optimized that most people don't want to be doing the thing. How do they rectify, how do they implement something that doesn't optimize it even further? How do they open it up and make it more flexible for everybody involved? The suggestion's already been made a few times to have concentration be warband wide. Then it really does become a cognitive choice to what you spend your concentration on. And stacking alt then doesn't become a thing. But at that point, they might as well also let you just have all professions on one character. Personally, I think the problem was Remix and the flooding of max level toons. Damage is done though. Oh, there's no denying Remix definitely did give players access to a lot of max level characters very quickly. Which is why I think they've been very cautious to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen with Legion Remix. I mean, for one, Blizzard would prefer to sell boosts, right? They'd rather take $60 off you and give you a max level character that way. If you really want to look sort of, if you really want to nest down into some of the reasons why. Count-wide professions must be in the works at some point. It does seem like it's one of the last remaining things in the game that isn't really that warbandy. Not only do we have the entire game being seasonalized now, professions aren't even seasonalized yet. Never mind, like, warband wide. Reputations are becoming warband wide throughout. You know, an awful lot of materials and items are warband wide. Professions, though, are still very, very, very character lock specific. If you want a second jewel crafter, you have to do the whole thing again. Which does also lead me to kind of agree that it can't, like, I don't think it's a midnight thing, although we know so little about what they're doing. It could very well be, and we just don't know yet. But I do think they're going to have to go that route in some way, shape, or form. Just because the rest of the game has. You no longer need to, you no longer are going to need to grind the same reputation more than once. You get so many catch-ups and questing skips for alts and all this sort of stuff. Yet professions are still one of the last remaining things that you want a second profession, got to do it all again. There's no shortcuts. Hey, guess we need the alpha, don't we? Maybe we might start getting some answers.
Still got it.
Maybe.
Fantastic.
Where's the rewards? This way. Right, at least I've got my gilded for the week. That's 311s done for the gilded. I could very much do with banging out some 8s for vault reasons.
Nice find.
Another pet? How do I not have half of these pets? They're like practically free. How's that a thing? Considering how many pets I buy and sell. Right. Let's not have all of the fun in one day. I'll probably leave the rest of the delves for tomorrow. And I might just watch a YouTube or a stream or something later and bang out some 8s. do the same 8 like 5 times in a row or something stupid, just to get the vault padded. Do I have? I can convert some weathered into carved at least. I have a bunch of runed. I've gilded enough to do a crafted piece. But I am apparently missing the other half of my spark, which feels really dumb. How do I get the other half of my spark quickly? I mean, arguably I should do LFR, shouldn't I, really? I bang out one of the wings of LFR quickly. That'll get me my other half of the spark, I would imagine. What are we going to upgrade, though? What are we actually going to upgrade? We got braces, and we got our weapon at 720. Shoulders feel like the play. Because I've got 4-piece set elsewhere. I could upgrade my shoulders. They're a piece that are on the champion track right now and have been a pain to get otherwise. Shoulders or boots, really. Crafted belt's also not out of the question. But crafting boots fixes the problem of that these are still on the champion track.
I have calibrated my prices to be reasonable.
Enchanted, gilded, ethereal crest. Yeah, that's what we want. One of those, please. Buy that now so I don't accidentally spend the gilded crests on someone else.
Return and peruse my inventory.
How fare you? Be bold. Be true. What brings you here?
Okay, that's as far as we get.
In unity, find strength.
Yeah, I need to decide what we craft in order to decide what we upgrade, don't we, really? Upgrading trinkets is never a bad thing. What's your suggestion for leveling up multi-accounts from 70 to 80 currently? Currently, flipping hell. Siren Isle. The hyperspawn on the Siren Isle. Failing that, you need a good time walking week. Either way, you need a character that can boost. When I did it, it was with time walking.
Fair skies and strong winds.
Right, so I need to craft. I'm gonna claim my craft shoulders here. I'm just trying to think at what point do I. How quickly can I get past the need for runed crests? Because if I craft shoulders, that fixes that slot. If I Then that leaves me with boots and a trinket, doesn't it, to fix and upgrade. So I'm 120 rune crests away from not needing them anymore. Which, if I actually farm some rune crests up, I'm within reach of doing. Not that I am going to, I just, you know, technically I can. And then that will be weathered, carved, and runed, all converted slowly but surely into yet more gilded. Yeah, there we go. I've only had 7 out of 8 of my sparks. Or half sparks. Can I go do some of the phase diving stupidness or something? Some world quests in Koresh maybe. LFRQ can't take more than a few minutes.
That Psy cartel has lost control of the docks. I need someone competent to sort it out for them.
I also don't think I've, what are we? Only renowned 15 with the Koresh still. Slacking on this one. I knew this was going to be the case. I saw this coming a mile off. Knew it was going to be a problem for me this season. I mean, I have the same every third season, to be fair. I think Zerith Mortis, final zone in Shadowlands, was the last final zone of an expansion that like I actually found quite fun and interesting. Emerald Dream didn't really do it for me. Koresh is just terrible.
You have my attention.
I knew this place was going to bore me to death pretty quickly. It would be a bit of a struggle to finish it. Should have done. Should have just absolutely hardcore blasted it the first couple of weeks. It feels soulless.
Speak your mind.
Yeah, this is it's a good way of describing it. It's a very soulless zone. It's an MVP zone. Not most valuable player. Minimum viable product. The bare minimum they could get away with for launching a zone. And it's kind of a shame it's like the final zone in the expansion. Considering the lore of the zone, then I'd say they've nailed it. Well, there would have been ways to make it thematically correct whilst actually also making it fun to play.
That should hold until the next financial quarter starts. Well done, traveler.
Special assignments? There's that one. I'll do that in a minute. Oh, renowned 16. Boom, check me.
Stalkers have infiltrated the crags in search of tasty crowlask meat. Deal with the stalkers and put the crowlasks to the torch.
Everything dies out here nice and fast though now. Happy about that. 4 shells and then 10 other things. Big boy shell. People still making pets from the zone. The Ecodome pets. Yeah, I haven't looked at those in much detail for a little while. It was a market that seemed to just fall flat on its face, to be honest. It's a weird one for me because it had a lot of potential, but I just wonder how much weight is put on the fact that nobody really knew about it. Nobody knew about it until it was too late, and by the time that people did know about it, the opportunity had gone, sort of thing. Because the value in the market would have been selling the pets in the early weeks, whilst there was a distinct lack of them. This is one of those things that actually a bunch of content creators doing videos on it would have probably really helped rather than hindered the market, because a lot more people would have been aware of it, and hype would have brought interest, and hype would have brought sales, and hype would have had more people farming it. But now we're like 6 weeks into the patch or something like that. People have had, like, people will have, even accidentally will have like half of the pets, 6 out of 12 of the pets by this point, I'd imagine. And people are actually going to do it every week anyway, I think, for the mount, regardless to the pets. But I'd imagine the supply of those pets right now is pretty high. And I'd imagine they're also very cheap.
Demencius's whispers have driven the unbound here mad.
Prices went to poop very fast. Yeah, we were talking like sub 5,000 gold pets, like really quickly. Which at that point, it's not really that much more valuable than a big boy world quest, is it? Considering it's a weekly. That said, the door is still open for them being more valuable in the future. Certainly not heavy investment right now, I don't think. As you can see, I haven't even been turning my Mechanicas into pets or mounts recently either, so I'm not even too sure what the market's doing on those things. In a left shark kind of way, give it 5 years. Yeah, or maybe it will just end up being a complete dud. I'm not getting much percentage for each one of these. And this phase diving business is just terrible, isn't it? There's no upside to phase diving. This is where I think they missed the mark. Like, if there was some significant advantage to the phase diving, you could understand their restriction on allowing you to move fast. There isn't an upside. You just do the same world quest, but this time you're not allowed to fly.
been haunting these ruins ever since the devouring. I am glad they are finally at rest.
Do we reckon this pinnacle cache is going to give me... Do we reckon the pinnacle cache will give me the box? What do we think? The spark, sorry. Let's try. Let's find out. Find out. Oh, I do need to do 10% more stuff in phase diving, actually. Seems really silly to have left that quest at 90%, actually.
I understand your frustration, Gaora.
You're going to give me the other half the spark?
All the peoples of Kazalgar are coming together more than ever because of you.
Did it? No. Son of a... Still think phase diving could have been an optional hard mode phase. Even that makes more sense. Even that makes more sense. Rather than them tacking it onto Remix and hoping nobody notices. Test it in Koresh. If it takes off, great. It's going to be a major feature in the next expansion anyway. If it doesn't, then you've got plenty of time to undo it before. Alright, let's do this one phase diving world quest, which should hopefully give us our weekly phase divers cash as well. Maybe that's got a better chance of giving us our spark. This LFR queue's taking ages as well.
Untethered souls can drift out of phase. With nothing binding them to reality, they prey on divers for energy, causing more harm. Send these lost souls to their inevitable destination.
Hard mode for Legion Remix still feels like an odd one to me. I'm really struggling to find reason to use it. If you are going to play Remix from the perspective of somebody that wants to level your tune up, blast as much bronze as you can to get as much of the cosmetics as you can, I genuinely don't see any reason why you would step foot in Heroic World Tier. The only value that Heroic World Tier is going to have is if there's some absolute cheese mechanic in it that players come up, you know, that players find. That's not a sign that it's going to be a good game mode. That's a sign that they accidentally forgot to balance something. And there's the worry that if Heroic World Tier gets heavily utilized by players cheesing leveling speed or cheesing some infinite power farm, that Blizzard will look at that and go, oh, people really liked Heroic World Tier, it was a big success. When, if the only reason it ends up being a big success is because it's the path of least resistance to something else, that's not really a great sign that it was a great success. I tend to think. Oh, these dudes aren't even part of the quest. Shit. Whoops. Look at the quest log. Weekly quests will have a weekly quest tag or something like that, and then under the rewards, those drop the sparks for the week. Well, I thought I thought Pinnacle caches were one of those, but I must be mistaken. Does the heroic tier increase the rewards from world quests? Might be for the casual players more than anything. Yeah, but the reality is even from a casual perspective, it's the wrong choice. Because if the mobs take you 3 times longer to kill, then giving you twice as many rewards is still a net loss. Especially on content that, like, well, haha. Then you've got I suppose the counter argument to that is if it's something like a world quest that you can only complete it once a day, you might as well do it on the hardest difficulty to get the most amount of reward on a daily basis. But the fact that there are ways to acquire infinite power and things infinitely diminishes the effectiveness of doing that anyway, but yeah. It still is a, you know, feels a lot 1 step forward, 2 steps back still.
Thank you.
Now this is where it becomes difficult, because how do you then quantify fun? Like, if you can make Heroic World Tier just significantly more enjoyable to play, you know, if having mechanics that you proactively need to dodge makes it more enjoyable, then sure, I get that. That makes sense. And I think in a retail environment, that could kind of add value. It can add value, I think, in retail where there isn't really the necessity to zoom, because it's not a limited... Retail's not a limited time thing.
You can retrieve the fragments.
But in a 90-day game mode, you're kind of on the clock from the word go. The whole kind of point of the mode is that you're on the clock and that you're meant to be, especially when a lot of people will look at the grand total of bronze that they need. It's like in the millions. People probably might not want the slow and steady approach in order to do that. They will want to make sure that their time is spent optimally because they already sense it's going to be a grind. Right, well, we got the other half of our spark all the same. Now we can go craft our shoulders. That will give us a little boost of juice. Give us a little boost of juice. Although the alternative is, because it's so late in the week already, I'm not really gaining anything from this reset by crafting it now. Do I just hang fire? Do I hang fire and see what we get in the vault? Because if I can get boots or shoulders out of the vault on the hero track, I'd be better off taking them and then crafting whatever the other one is. Whereas if I craft one now and then I don't get the other one in the vault, it feels really dumb. So actually, considering it's already Monday, waiting till Wednesday to use this spark is actually probably the smart thing to do now. And if I get neither of these in the vault, if I don't get boots and I don't get shoulders in the vault, then we just craft one anyway. I guess. I wonder how many people just leave it till the last month of Remix. I am not convinced if people leave it to the last month, they'll have time to get everything that they want. Genuinely. You look at... There's 8 million bronze worth of awards. Over 8 million bronze worth of stuff. What was the website? WoW Achievement or something? Yeah, here we go. So there's over 8.4 million bronze worth of collectibles in Legion Remix. Now, you might have a percentage of that already. But if you wanted to play Legion Remix enough to acquire 8.4 million bronze, that is a staggering amount of playtime that is needed to do that. Which means even if you've got 10, 20, 30, 40% of this already, if your aim is to go out and collect stuff, leaving it till the last month is kind of like, whew. You are going to be zooming that final month. And let's not forget, it comes out in October. That last month is like, it's also going to clash with player housing. That last month. So then you're going to have people that are like, shit, I've pre-ordered and quote unquote paid for player housing. Do I go do decor and player housing, or am I now going to have to grind the mode that's already 2 months old? The time to play Remix is when they first launch it, because it's less likely to clash with anything else interesting that's going on. Unless you like playing Battlefield, of course. Comes out 3 days after. Is sketchy. I don't think this is tracking my character properly, by the way, because I definitely have at least some of this. But I expect them to massively ramp up the bronze in the later stages, though. Yeah, but are you going to rely on that? I know people who have not leveled a whole bunch of alts this expansion, waiting for Legion Remix on the assumption that it'll be as powerful as MOP Remix was for alts. And I definitely don't think it is going to be. Considering 0 player power gets passed over from one character to another in any way, shape or form this time. No gems, no bonus to the artifact weapon, no nothing. Every alt starts back at 0. Sure, they can level a little bit faster, but they're not going to have any power gain while they do it. Certainly not going to be the alt leveling bonanza that MOP was. I technically don't really need to do LFR. Well, yeah, we probably should. Let's go pew-pew a few bosses. Get a few bosses down. I should really, actually, thinking about it, try and keep up with my Mana Forge Vandal's rep a bit better. I'm slacking. I'm only renowned 4. I think renowned 7's possible now. Is it next week then people hit renown 8? And with renown 8 will come... Oh, that's a good point. People can get renown 8 next week. Then they will also be able to get the new contracts. That's interesting.
In the next chamber,
really thought about that.
Raz uses his machines to feed arcane energy into the dark heart. Kill the Mana Forger before he wakes Dimensius.
We might finally even figure out what the hell they're for. Because at this point, we don't really know we don't even know who these sub-factions are. And what the materials are going to be worth to make these contracts. Mini roadmap did promise catch-up mechanics, but still. We'll see. We'll see. I don't credit Blizzard much good faith with the roadmap, with what they showcased throughout the testing phase of Remix. I think they were very sly with how they handled the Remix feedback. In terms of the fact that all of the feedback they got for Remix was mostly predicated on the fact that a lot of it just didn't feel very fun. And unfortunately, most players' way of describing why it wasn't fun was that, well, you didn't feel as if you got very powerful, and it was slow. Which was partly true, but that wasn't necessarily the reason why you weren't having any fun. You're not really having a lot of fun in Legion Remix because the gameplay loop is very bland. Really bland. You haven't got any gems to care about. You haven't got any on-use abilities other than one new artifact weapon cooldown. You're not really caring particularly about the gear because it just trickles to you. You're not caring about threads in any way, shape or form particularly because all they give you is stamina. The gameplay loop is very, very bland, which is going to make the grind of gearing up even more grindy. But not many people really articulated that to Blizzard. And so the way that they doused the fire was to give everybody a week with max gear and basically IDDQD level God mode cheat characters. So that people could just run around invincible one-shotting things. And so people were like, oh, okay, yeah, this is fun now. Sure. But when you don't get God mode, when the game goes live, because there's 150 hours of progression that goes into unlocking God mode, and they didn't do anything to actually improve the gameplay loop. Son of a... The number of remixes saved posts was silly after that. So batshit crazy. So bonkers. Yeah, we're going to give everybody invincible cheat mode characters for a week, and then people are like, oh yeah, this is the player power we were looking for. Yeah, but you're never going to get it. And even if you can get it, what's the journey to get it?
I will not allow the disruption of Lord Demencius' resurrection.
Absolutely nobody paid attention to that. So I think I think the same problems that we had with MOP Remix will happen in Legion Remix as well. Being that you will be very weak, you will not be one-shotting things, and you will certainly not be soloing things for a long time. But players like me, content creators who can play the game 12 hours a day, will be the first ones to do the grind and be the first ones to get that player power. And then a bunch of emergency hotfixes will have to come in play to speed everybody else up. And without a Frogger's controversy to blame everything on, who's gonna get the blame for it this time? I'm assuming there isn't going to be a Frogger thing. Because if there is some element of cheese, it will be something broken in Heroic World Tier. That, or what I genuinely suspect is more likely to be the case, is that teams of 5 players organize, like, you know, your MDI, kind of Mythic Pluses are just gonna go straight into Mythic Plus as soon as possible, and they'll gear the shit out of the they'll gear the shit out of themselves really quickly that way. And then they'll snowball their player power, and it'll be the same scenario. You'll have Genji and Merez like one-shotting things within 3 days, and everybody will complain that it actually takes them. Why is it taking 60 hours to get powerful again in a 90-day game mode? It's going to be deja vu, I'm telling you.
Your energy fuels my machine.
On top of the fact that most players are going to go through the grind when there is the least content available as well. You'll have the starter zones, but you won't have Argus, you won't have Broken Shore, you won't have any of the, like, the bonus later patch zones. Because we had the Isle of Giants, we had Isle of Giants, we had oh flipping out, what's the zone called? Throne of something? Can't remember. And we had the Timeless Isle to play with all day one in MOP. Thunder Isle, that's the one, that's the word I'm looking for, thank you.
The pylon's energy grows. The ritual is almost complete.
Thunder Isle, Isle of Thunder, yeah. I really feel like we should be nuking all of these arcane manifestations. There's some random 700 million dude shredding. This is this feels like this is not gone to plan. I mean, everybody's alive, which at least is
The ritual will continue.
something. I, for one, don't know the mechanics of this, so.
Energies of order gather. Transmute.
I have 37% of the stuff for Remix based on that site. It took me from 8.4 million to 5.2 million. Even 5.2 million is an awful lot. You can only hold 500,000 on hand. And I dinged 80. Dinging 80 on my first character, I had about 100,000 bronze. So if you imagine whatever the effort to get you to 80 in terms of like threads and bronze acquisition that first time round, even with 37% of the stuff collected already, you might need to do that same level of progress 50 times over to get everything. Now, of course, your gains ramp up the more you play it. But they don't ramp up exponentially.
Safeguard the machine. Success. Dimensions will reign again.
I just really hope the one thing that will save Legion Remix is if the grouping sort of community feel of it will be, if it's even remotely close to what MOP was, It'll still be an absolute blast, though. It'll still be good for a few weeks, even if it's even if it's only half of what MOP was, because if you can jump into the raid and you can sort of nuke down the raid bosses most days, and you can you can pug your way through most of the group content freely and easily, and then you can do any of the solo kind of stuff in your downtime. It will still be a fun little mini event. But it's frustrating to see that the potential is there for it to have been so much more, and they've kind of let that opportunity slip, I think, which is a bit sad.
What zealotry, what loyalty, sacrificing himself to power the machine.
Who's next then? Who's next?
If only the rest of you had that kind of commitment. You will need it now. Demencius' reformation is inevitable.
But like I said, for me, there's a strong chance that Remix is going to clash aggressively with Alpha, meaning I'm probably going to be wanting to spend the first half at least of each week doing Alpha-related stuff, if not more, because it's the first opportunity to get a good look at stuff, and the fact that access to it is somewhat limited. I feel if I am fortunate enough to get access to it, that I should really take advantage of that privilege and not piss it up the wall playing Remix. I'm concerned the time gating will kill any momentum and will sour the overall mood. Well, the fact that players are not going to be hamstrung with their player power so much now by the time gating will mean that players can still progress at their own pace now. Is that to say that it will be much grindier to do it in the first few weeks than it will in the last few? Yeah, of course it will. But at least it's still possible. What would have really nuked the momentum is if that you could only get 630 gear in the first couple of weeks, and then that's not even enough for you to like genuinely start feeling strong yet. What are we doing here? Are we just straight up not killing this? What the fuck's going on? Nuke his ass. Players who don't kill trash really annoy me. You should be blowing cooldowns, you should be flipping blasting trash down, because it's just pointless. Get to the boss. Alrighty, let's go.
That was way too easy.
There's no doubt, though, the first couple of weeks of Remix will play it an unhealthy amount. And the reality for me is that first couple of weeks is critical. Absolutely critical. Because it will be at that point where it will showcase whether the test environment just wasn't doing it justice.
Face me or face the flames.
Submit to the void.
Or the worst case scenario is that the cracks then really do start to show and everybody's like, nah, fuck this. Absolutely not.
Fracture your soul and your mind. Feel my wrath.
Delicious.
You won't escape. Fracture your soul and your mind. Feel my wrath.
To ground like a beast.
Delicious.
You won't escape.
Fracture your soul and your mind. Feel my wrath.
To ground like a beast.
Delicious.
I have you now. Now you know true power.
Get out of the way of this.
Fracture your soul and your mind. Feel my wrath.
To ground like a beast.
Right, there is a lot of blue on the floor.
You won't escape.
Fracture your soul and your mind.
Maybe doing LFR on a Monday. It's not the wisest move. The fucking pings.
To ground like a beast.
Delicious.
You won't escape.
Fracture your soul and your mind. Feel my wrath.
To ground like a beast.
Delicious.
My glaive thirst. Run! Run for your lives!
Oh my god, this is not going to go well, is it? Flip it out. Oh, I'm turtling this shit. This is getting out of hand real fast. There's probably a smart way to do this. Brute force for the win. What the f am I doing at the top of the DPS meters? How's that a thing?
To ground like a beast.
Multi-dotting for the win.
You won't escape.
Fracture your soul and your mind. Feel my wrath.
To ground like a beast.
Delicious.
You won't escape.
bit late in the day to be soaking, but
Fracture your soul and your mind.
I
Feel my wrath.
I'm a good one to do it, considering I can do me DPS on the move.
Delicious.
Suck it up, bitches.
It's more fun when they do. Fear and despair for all.
Boom! Headshot. Right. Nothing, nothing, need. Nothing, nothing, need. Nothing. 95? Surely that's a win. The powers of your Reshi Raps are triggered 20% more frequently. Oh, still being rolled for. Oh god, I might still lose these. Might still lose these. Boom! Winning. I don't think at 675 they're going to be overly useful to me. But if the best I've got is 4 out of 8 champion right now. I don't know how much value can be added onto 20% more frequently. I'm sure at Myth gear it makes a lot of difference, but you can always throw some stones at them and upgrade them anyway. Alright, what's the next one? Fractillus. Oh, this is the ice wall dude, isn't it? I've been here before. One thing I do need to decide, actually, I really could do with deciding which character, or sorry, which class I'm going to play in Remix. Because I really don't think that I'm ever going to gear up more than one. I didn't even gear up one, I only geared one up in Mop. And that was with it taking 60 hours to gear up a toon. This time round, when I suspect it's going to take even longer, I'm most inclined to only level up one. But knowing that a fully geared out character is likely going to be the ticket to boosting 4 accounts worth of alts, I really need a multi-class spec, I think. I might need to consider something like a druid or a paladin, one that could heal, tank and DPS. Although that said, my 4 accounts consist of 2 sets of paladins, so technically they could queue as healer and they could queue as tank, and then I can just solo the place as DPS anyway. There's a lot going on here. That's partly my fault. Have you considered Arcane Mage? I don't know. Demon Hunter's another one. Demon Hunter's another one that looks as if it could be fun. I had quite a lot of fun with my boosty Demon Hunter. And I think Demon Hunters are going to end up going so flipping fast because of their mastery. That could just be quite funny. But I also know that if I do go something like Druid or Paladin, I'll probably actually end up having to either tank or heal in Mythic Plus. That I don't really want to do. If I go Hunter, then it's, oh no, sorry, I can only DPS. Plus I'll pull in some streamer privileges anyway most of the time, but... Demon Hunter with the AoE will clear the trash very quickly. Yeah, Demon Hunters I think are going to be fun in Remix, because they will just do silly things. They did silly things last time. Weirdly, I'm probably the most geared in this raid by the looks of things, because I'm accidentally at the top of the DPS charts again. To be fair though, somebody in 706 gear doesn't really have any need to be an LFR, do they? I'm only doing it for the rep. I can't believe there's nobody else in here that's more geared than I am. We do the next one. Flipping hell. We're on it, aren't we? It's very windy outside and my roof kind of it's just a flat metal roof. So it's sort of, you know, that kind of like wibbly wobbly metal noise in the wind. The little puppy has no idea what's going on. Why has the doggo alarm clock gone off already? It's very early for the doggo alarm clock to be going off. I started the stream late. I can't be finishing early as well. How the Christ did I win that? I didn't. Has the puppy met fireworks yet? No. I've thought actually about this, and I've thought that it might not be a terrible idea to find a fireworks show TV program and put it on the TV as exposure. You know, slowly increase the volume, put it on once or twice a day, so that by the time New Year turns up and fireworks do go boom properly, that it's not first time she's ever heard them, sort of thing. She's very intrigued by the TV generally. Finally, you know, throw Netflix on or something on the TV, or Mrs. Matthews is over here watching some TV program. She's very intrigued by the TV.
Do not let them get a foothold. Attack!
The noises that come out of that screen on the wall. How are you doing, Adrestia? Welcome in, good morning. Watch Nightwish. Great show on Earth live in Tampa. There has fireworks. Yeah, there's some sort of exposure to fireworks and loud bangs and stuff like that. It's probably wise to do while she's young. My other two dogs are okay with fireworks. Nips was just not bothered. Apple used to just not care in the slightest, my oldest dog. She used to just not give a damn. But as she's got older, her vision is less. And, you know, the loud bangs are now more scary. We had roadworks one time down our street. This is not when we lived here, this is when we lived at our old place. And I don't know what they were doing, but they were cutting through like some metal pipe or something like that. And it was like super loud right outside our house. Super loud and like super high pitched. And I'm pretty convinced to this day that it's like caused my older dog to be more scared of loud noises. Even though before that she just genuinely didn't care.
Pitiful corporeals! You are no match for my might!
Terrified of fireworks, I always made it a point with my cats not to respond to it, and they couldn't care less. They used to sleep in the window whilst firecrackers were just below them. Yeah, some animals just don't care. This is why I tend to think some early exposure to, you know, loud noises and bangs and stuff is probably a smart thing to do.
I will break you! Strike you in twain!
Animals on the TV and such. Now she just barks at any animal that appears on the TV. Yeah, pros and cons, I suppose, but my surround sound system has the power and the capability to quite effectively replicate fireworks, I would imagine. If I wanted it to.
Submit to my rule. Strike you in twain!
Shit, that literally went straight through me.
Submit to my rule.
Are we all meant to get in this?
Strike you in twain.
Ouch. One of these is a soak, isn't it? And I can't remember which one it is. Or is it not on LFR? I don't know.
Follow me into the void.
I don't do this anywhere near enough. I succumbed to my oath, did I? What the fuck does that mean? Okay. I'm about to cook people, apparently. Oh, well, I'm dead because I'm going to get my ass handed to me here. He didn't soak the tank circle. There was something I know I was meant to do in this.
Shadow Guard, destroy the heretic. Hold the line.
So that's fine. This is what we call a tactical cancel scan. Or, in my case right now, I might just go grab a drink. That's probably a clever move. There ain't no chance I'm getting a battle res. If I do, I'll take it in a minute. Did we win yet? Did we win? Dying early gives a boost to loot rolls. Factual. Absolute facts.
By my will be broken.
When I did the tactical cancel scan move last season, nobody gave a shit. When I do it this season, everybody loses their shit. I suppose one tank going down is a big thing. Yeah, casual DPS is easy to lose, isn't it? Oh my god, I got a battle res. Sure. Oh my god. Are we meant to kill this dude? Surely we're meant to kill this dude. Kill him. Kill him with fire. His health isn't going down. Guess not then.
The vitality. The void flows through me. My rule will be infinite. Look upon me and despair.
If I go on LFR, my Shami can one-heal this. I think pretty much anybody that knows what they're doing is probably capable of doing something similar in LFR. I mean, it is pretty tourist mode these days, isn't it? It's kind of meant to be. I still found it funny back in the day when Preach did his, like, what was it? He did it on a rogue, I think it was. I think he did LFRs to gear up his rogue and literally didn't do a single point of damage the entire time. Now, I don't think you can probably get away with those sort of tactics these days. You'll probably get kicked, but it was funny back then. Oh wait, what shit? What? Huh?
Another
I don't think I'd ever killed that boss actually by the looks of things then. Maybe that's why I didn't know the tactics. Sure. That would explain things.
And now, the final reckoning is at hand. The all-devouring is nearly reborn. Go to the core of the Maniforge. Prove your worth to me.
Maybe last time I did this then, we went straight to the last dude. Big doggo alarm clock's going off and it concerns me why. It doesn't usually start getting whingy at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Schedule's been a bit weird today. We got up early, but the big puppy cam. And then behind me are the other two. Alma's like, hello? Who are you? Who are you? And it's gone. I've actually got to be careful doing that. They've all got their name tags on. Which under day-to-day is not a bad thing, but name tags have telephone numbers on.
Valeria is fighting back the Shadow Guard. We're barely holding the Maniforge together. How will we stop him?
We won't. Not alone. Your champions will hold off Dimensius until we can join the battle.
I wanted to call and have a chit-chat. It's not even my number. I mean, yeah, there is also Discord for that sort of thing. Not that I'm suggesting you do it.
Come to me. Accept death.
Puppy dogs. Big dog's woken up small dog. Are we going? Are we just going? Oi! Oh, fuck off. God damn. You should try the Fellowship beta. My schedule is too busy right now to be trying anything else. My schedule's too busy right now. Yeah, it seemed more sensible putting my wife's phone number on the dog's name tags, considering she's the one that speaks the three local languages. Means in case of emergency, she's more useful to speak to. Ex-Blizzard devs did a Mythic Plus dungeon crawler game with similar classes like in WoW and even abilities. Was that what Fellowship is? Maybe someday. We're going to be too busy at the moment. Bad time to release a game, honestly. I'm still playing Borderlands a lot. WoW's going to be busy for the next 9 months. Battlefield 6 is also coming out next month, which will definitely steal some of my time. Unless both Remix and Alpha land at the exact same time, which is looking like it will now. Flipping Alpha, Battlefield 6 and Remix all at one go is going to be like, what? I'm going to need a 26th hour, never mind a 25th hour in the day. Even a paladin healer with similar mechanics like a holy paladin in WoW. Well, Paladin's not exactly a unique class to World of Warcraft, is it? It's whilst WoW is a very popular game, they don't have the they don't have the soul rights to druids or paladins or mages. Alma Llama, what you doing? What you woofing? Woofing because Nips was on the sofa? Yeah. That's it. Go back to the stick. Aw, all alone. All alone. In my little dust pile. Combat res incoming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dead. It's questionable.
We're not mere mortals. Show them our strength.
Oh my god, I actually am getting one. Whoa, don't stand on that. Oh, fuck off! You taking the piss? Oh, this is a wipe now.
You've done well so far. Surprising, but we're not done yet.
Trying to mount
Follow
after
me
a res
and try
here
to
is
stay alive.
bugged.
Mm.
Is it really? This is a wipe anyway. 2/3 of the DPS are dead. 2/3 of the DPS are dead. 2 healers are dead. Does it have to be quite so flashy? There's no big dick DPS in this group either. It's Monday. It's Monday. I was topping the DPS charts recently.
Kill his minions. Keep pressing him.
What's the odds we're going to lose a bunch of extra people here as well? Ooh, close. Somebody got shaved. Really could use this opportunity to take the dogs for a pee. Big dog is complaining she needs to go out as well for some reason. Feels double cheesy to be doing an LFR while streaming and then to take a break just because I'm floor inspector mode. Doesn't really feel like a team effort then, does it?
We must strike now.
Tank should tank him more to the edge though, so DPS don't need to go through his
Think the
puddle.
lights are alive.
Oh yeah, I'm not about to start telling anybody how to play this game though.
What of Dimensius?
The boss goes down or he doesn't.
But not for long. We must keep him from regaining power.
Your continued struggle is meaningless. All portents seal your doom. Darkness descends.
I do when I get the power of leader. I love to do /RWs. Start screaming at people.
This reality belongs to me.
3.5 bill to go.
Exquisite suffering.
2 tanks, 1 healer down. Yeah, there's no way 2.7 billion damage is being done in the next 30 seconds. So we've got 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 DPS.
Become one with me. Stars crumble in my grip. Insignificant. Die by my hand.
Down we go. Watch, Blood Death Knight will solo it now.
The sky falls at my command.
No. Down goes the Blood Death Knight. Why people just don't stand in poop by the yeah. Like this warrior right now is just like we get it, mate. We get it. You're strong. Alright, let's try again. Let's try again. Let's see if I can not die within 3 seconds this time. Stand in the fire, higher DPS, exactly. Exactly. Bloodlust should be done at the start of the last phase when we all get ported to Dementius. The likelihood of us getting to that point in the fight without somebody fat fingering Bloodlust in LFR is, yeah, yeah, about that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, wipe that one. Why LFR is harder than normal, biggest challenge. Normal at this point is just getting people to run it.
The first corpses of the mountain, from which I will rule.
It's alright. It's all determination stacks. Or is it? Do they even exist anymore? I don't think they even exist anymore, do they? Or maybe they do. Week 1, it took our group 90 minutes to down him. New joiners kept jumping through the portals constantly. Well, they've removed that now, haven't they? Doing this on any day other than reset day, though, is probably the biggest problem. Why are we kicking people now? Why are we kicking people? Not kicking people without knowing why I'm kicking people. Boat kick failed.
Come to me. Accept death.
Flipping hell, that dude was dead before I even got here.
Do not resist my hunger. Crushed.
Ha! The one person that they tried to kick is the one that's now dead again. I wonder if that's why they were trying to kick him. Whoops. Well, I died nice and early last time as well, so...
No star, no planet will weep for you. Weight of the universe. Your time has come.
But I still don't know why we're killing this guy. Where did he come from? Yeah, he seems to have turned up out of nowhere, doesn't he? A boss bigger than Stormwind apparently turns up and... I don't know, I am the last, genuinely the last person that you should ask about lore. Because, I am no
We're in
pro.
Dimensius's domain now. So stay close and listen to me.
What? Why won't you let... What? Why won't... What? Why did... Go watch Noble or Pyromancer for lore. Yeah, there's definitely some people that know what they're talking about. I'm not one of them. I'm not one.
Show them our strength.
Oh shit, we're back. Mass erection.
You've done well so far. Surprising, but we're not done yet. Follow me, and try to stay alive.
The rumors... I vaguely heard something about
Kill his minions.
Midnight.
Keep pressing him.
That with how disjointed all of the how disjointed all the flipping feedback and the news was about it. I don't know if this is something I made up or not, but apparently they're getting rid of Vigor in Midnight, which I think would be a very welcome addition if they do. Controlling Vigor is just... Oh yeah, son of a... Skirted across the edge then. Getting rid of Vigor I think is a play.
Thank the light you're alive.
The Mana Forge is stable.
I for one have never enjoyed trying to remember to flip in
In hand, but
fly
not
in a
for
certain
long.
way to keep
We must
Vigor
keep him
topped
from
up.
regaining power.
Pain in the ass. No, we'll still have dragon riding, you just won't have to... You'll just be able to spam the key, you won't be... Or it'll be on cooldown instead or something, rather than it being Vigor that you have to carefully control. Right, this one looks to be smoother. We can do smoother.
The sky falls at my command. Nuisance. Die by my hand. The sky falls at my command.
3, 2, 1. Touch the orb, it gives a DPS increase. This is the kind of advice I get from my mods. Would you believe? Oh, what have we got here? Random ass trinket. Don't really need trinkets, but we need on anything that we can need on because it's LFR.
My world, my people, we are finally avenged.
Do not savor this victory for
Authority
too
of the
long.
Depths recipe.
With Dimensius's defeat, the Dark Heart is on the verge of collapse. I'll hold open the way so you can make your escape. But to do so,
What rolls did I get? A
must remain on the
21,
side of the
a
point,
59,
which
a
would leave you
56,
trapped in here. How
a 22, a 96 from the person that we all tried to vote kick earlier, who won it.
Fear not,
Lol.
I always find a way to
A 57 on the Hearthstone. My rolls are tragic level. Unbelievable. Do you still not see the YouTube chat? No, I think I see the YouTube chat. I would say there hasn't been a lot of YouTube chat, there never is. But I do still see it. Right, cool. LFR done. I'm not messing around doing the last wing. Did we get everything sorted? We did. Yeah, my decision now was actually to not craft anything, wasn't it? But to wait till Wednesday. That's probably the play. Need to nerf that one button rotation, it does too much DPS. I can't see the one button rotation going anywhere, unfortunately. It works though, doesn't it? It definitely works. Definitely works. Let's turn all these weathered and carved into something more useful.
We are united in purpose. Farewell. The skies call to me.
Any more?
May we all find what we seek. We have slept long enough.
Right. There's the upgrades.
Fair
Does that give us enough
and
rune to
strong
do
winds.
anything with? How much we got? 48 rune. Need 60 to upgrade another piece. Need 60 to upgrade the other trinket. One button in mythic raiding. But a Death Knight in our mythic raid team that would use the button, and we told him to stop using it, and he kept using it, and we kicked him from the team and he got mad. I mean, I do think there needs to be more nuance to that conversation. Because if there are people not using the button and not doing the same amount of DPS, you know. But yeah, technically using the button, you are doing about 20% less than what you potentially could be not pressing the button. But yeah, he had grey passes. I mean, very grey. Well, in that case, boot him. Get him gone. But I do think you got to be careful. Because of a disability, okay, but any able person in a mythic raid, it's, yeah. Boots or shoulders. Trinket is the one safe thing to probably upgrade. Why do I only need 45 to upgrade this? I was up because I've already got one trinket leveled up. Is that why? So I get the first one for free. Well, let's get that upgraded then. That then means, if everything goes to plan on Wednesday, we pull shoulders or boots out of the vault, whichever one, on the hero track. And we craft the other one. That will then put us at the point where we'll very quickly be able to use a few runed crests to upgrade the one that we don't craft, and then we'll be able to convert everything up to gilded from that point on. I think that feels about right. My shaman still has a veteran and a champion trinket. Well, I can definitely see why with trinkets, but you at least want one that you can level up far enough so that you can do the crest upgrades. You can't cut it, you get cut. Most people accept that, I feel. Yeah. Fine with people using the one button, but when it comes to high-end content, it's a no. We have 19 other people that want to progress, and that won't happen with a one button. It depends, though, doesn't it? Because if not always is raw throughput the reason you're not progressing. If you're not progressing because mechanics are being failed, then that's not the fault of the one button. If you're hitting DPS checks and you're hitting, you know... I can definitely see the argument working two ways with that one. But that's where, you know, those said 20 people need to discuss it between themselves and decide what they want to do. And if 19 people don't want somebody using the button and you've got one person that insists on using the button, then, well, unfortunately, that one person isn't going to fit, are they? They can find another guild where they are more accepting of button rollers.
Go carefully.
That's the point of organised group content. It's meant to be organised. If you're not willing to do the organisational aspect of it, then you're not going to last very long, are you? Not saying either option is right or wrong, as long as it's a communal decision. Last night, wiping 24 times in 3 hours was a nightmare. I refuse to put myself through Mythic like that. It's what some people live for in the game, though, isn't it? Some people really dig it. Some people get their kicks out of, like, those single-digit progression each and every time until you slowly but surely figure shit out. I guess where it gets most gross is where, like I said, it's maybe not even a DPS check or something that's your problem. What ISP are you on? Trying to troubleshoot why my stream keeps breaking. I can't easily tell you that. Because it will it will probably disclose where I live. I can DM you the info, but I'm not saying on stream. Can you tell me if you're not on DNA? I am not on DNA. Put it on the telly. Right. Okay. There are a few little bits and bobs I need to do on this dude, such as I could very much do with doing a couple more delves. I've done my 11s. I need to do a bunch of 8s. Is there a quick one up today? I mean, I guess it doesn't need to be a quick one, does it? It just needs to be a quick story for me to bang some 8s out on. Honestly, some weeks I just do flipping side street on 8s. Crocalist reintroduction. That's not the one without a boss at the end, is it? Which is the one that doesn't have the boss at the end? I need to do 5 tier 8 delves for the vault. One with the gold part. Yeah. The ones where there isn't a boss at the end. I don't think it's the crocodile one. Maybe I'll worry about that tomorrow. Maybe I'll spam out some delves tomorrow. Yeah, it's not that one, is it? Not that one. Do a little bit of progress on the Legion professions, I think. Legion Alchemy, Legion Engineering. Although actually thinking about it, I realised doggo a lot. Oh, well, all the doggos seem to be chill right now. Everybody looks relatively chill. Spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. Oh, okay. Spoke too soon. What a floofs. Came in just at the right. You can have more puppy cam if you want. I'll give you 30 seconds more puppy cam. There's another one at my feet. But oh, I've also got Nipsu on my socks, look. Let's keep the feet cam out. Got 2 Nipsus at my feet. Nipsus on my socks, and then Nipsu on the floor. Beautiful. Control yourselves, boys and girls. Control yourselves. Right, where did we get to? Legion. I was leveling shit up in Legion, wasn't I? Where's me Zygor at? Zygor was my quite literal guide to success with this. Unlock world quests dailies to accomplish this. Have I not unlocked world quests in Legion on this dude? Really? that's not very helpful, is it? That's not very helpful at all. BFA, Bastion, Broken Shore. It's going to be Dalaran, isn't it? That's going to be the Legion ones. No, it's not. Yes, that one. Now we're talking. Click the portal to the horrific visions. Eh? What? Why are you telling me to click the portal to the horrific visions? Zygold knows something I don't. I think it's lost its mind. You see the latest housing post on Wowhead? No, maybe? What are we talking about? Like recent in terms of actual recent? When could player housing early access release? That's not a question mark, is it? Is that a question mark? Why is that a question mark? It literally turns up with it's 1127. Eh? I didn't even think this is up for debate. You know, player housing early access is on the horizon, but when could the launch date be? Blizzard revealed the release of Legion Remix as well as the release dates for all the phases for Legion's patch content. In their infographic, they also teased the idea of quote-unquote more rewards coming to the mode with its final phase on December the 9th. What the fuck has that got to do with housing? Currently on the 11.25 PTR does not contain any indication of bonus rewards beyond the ones on the vendors, with the exception of one. Oh, not this again. Oh, Wowhead. This is why Wowhead needs some proper journalists. Blizzard put this dude here as a meme. What an absolutely useless article. What an absolutely useless article. We know housing comes with 11.27, which will be 8 weeks after the launch of 11.25. You can literally put it in your... You can put the date in your diary now. Okay, this is Wowhead doing Wowhead things. That's why we ignore Wowhead a lot. It's low news day. Not useless, it gets clicks and thus ad revenue. Yeah. Clicks saying absolutely nothing. It's why for actual like game related updates, MMO Champion is significantly better. You want to know what's being added to the game, what patch notes have turned up, this sort of stuff. MMO Champion is so much better. Because both Wowhead and Icy Veins have just devolved into like clickbait rubbish.
There remains much to be done.
Go, world quests.
Appreciated.
That was easy.
Take care, my friend.
The Fragile Demon's Breath Crucible. Is that available down here, is it? We need to do any more to unlock this? I think we do. Oh, this is to unlock them in that actual zone as well, isn't it? I remember now.
Can I assist you?
Good luck, friend.
Yeah, you had to unlock Stormheims specifically for some reason. I couldn't remember why. Much easier to get info on MMO Champion without wading through 500 irrelevant articles. Yeah. Yeah, with Wowhead trying so very desperately to be like, you know, operate like a newspaper, basically. It just means a good 70% of what they post is just padding to make it look like they're doing something all the time. I'm not a fan of half of the fluff on there, honestly. So many opinion pieces without being marked as opinion pieces as well. Drives me bananas. Front page is a mess. Yeah, above the fold on Wowhead is actually grim. Anybody that's ever done web design seriously will tell you that the front page of Wowhead is an absolute clusterfuck. Like even on a high-res 4K screen, this is just absolute fucking information overload. This looks like your grandma's Windows XP laptop, where she's downloaded and installed 500 plugins and 75 different links to spam bots and all sorts of stuff. This is just absolute clusterfuck of chaos. The fact that you have to scroll down miles before you get to even anything remotely close to, yeah. It's chaos. Utter chaos. But they don't need to worry about it because it's still the #1 source for WoW news. But complacency is the death of most companies. They get too complacent, somebody will come along and do it properly, and then it'll be too late.
Listen well. This land is ancient. Oh, good for eons. Helja has been building an army, stealing the souls of fallen Vrykul to oppose the...
Wowhead's more catchy name than MMO Champion. Well, MMO Champion obviously didn't necessarily come out the gate trying to just be about WoW news, but pretty much what it's ended up being.
Helja's foul magics trap Odin and hinder the Valajar. We need champions like you to stop her advances. Helja must be stopped. The time has come for a reckoning. I've been expecting you.
Quest. Okay.
Walk with purpose.
I don't think I really need all of these ones unlocked. If it turns out I do, I think the only reason we're doing this is because there's a Legion world quest that gives us the rank 3 recipe for something. That's the optimal way to level up without trying to farm rank 2 skill point, rank 2 craft skill points when they're green. Most of the leveling builds are crap too, and the comments going back years all say the same. At least they're consistent. Leveling builds for what though? Or for leveling? Wowhead is for a long time they've had a bit of a mixed sort of approach to stuff. The one advantage Wowhead definitely does have is that their database of info about items in the game is unfortunately second to none. So regardless to how annoying their tabloid newspaper type spam is, you're never going to completely ignore Wowhead. But a lot of the guides for stuff are less a guide and more of an info dump. Which does mean sometimes you're You don't exactly get what you're looking for, and you do have to sift through stuff an awful lot still, but can't be that fussy at the end of the day. It's only a website. You either use it or you don't. I've never found any problems with the actual class guides. I need to quickly check something, but then again, I'm 20 years a veteran of this game. I don't need to rely on it too much for stuff. Wowhead class guides are hardly getting updated during a season. Well, I think it's namely because the chances are is that Wowhead commissions people to do the class guides, but they don't commission them to update them. So those people probably don't have all that much of an incentive to actually keep them that up to date, other than if they do, they probably get to write the next season version as well. Would be my guess. Collect Fellhide. You can get these by completing Fellhide skinning world quests if you have skinning. You can also purchase them off the auction house. Yeah, I thought so. Let's not get too crazy. Start doing skinning world quests. Bellwarts. I probably had all of these herbs way back in the day, but I've since sold them. Oh, I could never spell this back in the day. F-J-A-R-N-S something. Never mind spell it, I can't even say it. Legion Remix waiting room now. 50-50. Alpha waiting room, Remix waiting room. 50-50.
Discipline.
Create one ancient mana potion. Why am I making one ancient mana potion? Guess there's a reason. Save the potion you drink. Enter the vault of the Warden's dungeon. I don't remember Legion Alchemy being this convoluted, but it really must have been. Where the hell is the Vault of the Warden's dungeon? Boss you need to kill is optional, so most groups skip it. Yeah, all of this info is like from way back in the day. Remora. Vault of the Wardens is where? Azuna. Shadowlands Remix waiting room. I mean, that's one way to do it, I suppose. The likelihood is if they don't pull it out the bag with Legion Remix, there's a strong chance we don't get a third remix.
Some so-called salvage team is ransacking Azuna's coastline, working on behalf of Mr. Shackle.
And the frustration will be, more so than anything else, is if we don't get a third remix, it'll be a big fat stinky I told you so, like, because they kind of, you know, players throughout this entire test phase have been stating that this doesn't feel like the remix we were expecting. And if it ends up not being, and the player base, the mass player base also agrees, then it could be, might not get the third.
I wonder what this pool
Doesn't get the engagement.
You, Drelanem.
I have committed no crime, Tirathon, whereas you and your associates have to answer for yours.
Crimes? Our crime was to sacrifice everything to save this world. We fought for Illidan. You imprisoned the world's villains here for all eternity. And then you imprisoned us.
We protect life, often at great risk. Too often.
Should get used to these dungeons, actually. Might not be a terrible idea to run a few of these before remix, actually. I know, see, this is a weird sort of weird approach to things, but I do kind of get it. I know that I've seen a fair few people running Legion content right now as a way to, like, collect stuff so that they then have to spend less bronze when remix comes out. I can see it being a thing to kill time with, but I'm not sure how much of it I'll do.
Can you say the same?
But chipping a few things off the list before remix turns up, at least if nothing else, you know, getting your bearings in the dungeons and the raids and stuff might not be a bad idea.
The exiled and the reviled.
When everything goes into zoom mode.
You and all your kin, and when my power wasn't enough.
Thank you for your help. Your intervention saved my life. If you intend to venture deeper, you will find far more.
The exact opposite. I'm spending less time in Legion so I can spend more bronze in remix, getting it easier. But yeah, see, this is the thing, right? If farming out bronze ends up being the significantly more easy way to do it, which it clearly will. But then again, I guess there's a lot of the achievements and stuff that won't be in remix. It'll still be a thing. Hope there are plenty of like-minded, quiet collectors that will play the crap out of remix, just so it is a success. Well, if I've learned anything from collectors over the years, is that they don't take no for an answer. So there'll be lots of engagement to be had from those players, but if it's not enjoyable, they won't be quiet about it either. Where are we going in here? Can't go through here yet. What's going on here? I don't know my way around this dungeon at all. You look like a boss.
How
Dead.
terribly disappointing.
Drink the Scargle potion. You will reveal the rune lock you need to click to get through the door. Oh, okay. Is that here? That'll be me. I think there'll be a lot of collectors, for sure. Ah, clever. Clever, clever. Still had big gaps after Mop Remix in my ATT. I expect the same from Legion. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to give you everything, is it? Like, there's huge chunks of Legion that's not there. Merge the Demon's Breath Crucible in Gamora's Bile. Wait, what? Am I meant to be doing something else here? Gordana Belslong Song Slain. You were supposed to let her attack you to fulfill that part of the quest. Ah, sugar. Ah, damn. Meant to foam sword her. Okay. Back out. I'm not going to have the potion again, though, am I? I'll just buy another one. Get your mind out the gutter, bear. Jesus Christ. How the grim fandango do we get out of here now? Let's back it up. We go back upstairs and just run out normally. What are we up to? We are currently chipping away at the past expansion professions to get them all leveled up, ready for decor and housing. We're back in Legion right now, just coincidentally, even though Legion Remix is around the corner. Working on alchemy right now. Whereas most professions, you just go to a trainer and level them up in 4 minutes. Got to do a few more bits and pieces for Legion. Frustratingly, I have done all of this like way back in the day when it was Legion, but it's on a random ass character that I don't play anymore, so I'm getting my more up-to-date characters, their professions leveled. You're not going to let me through the door, am I? Oh no, we go this way. This way? Right, next time, we don't mess it up. Need to buy another one of those potions. So we can unlock the door. I liked these quest lines back in the day, though. I know a lot of people memed on the Legion quest lines for professions, but I think that probably stems from a lot of people that didn't really care about the professions in the first place. I find a lot of the mentality around professions comes from people that would rather they didn't exist in the first place, and so if it's anything other than a 3-minute job, they whinge about it. Regardless of the fact that some people do actually enjoy tinkering with the professions. Legion quest lines for me was some of the fact that they actually added gameplay to the professions as well, rather than just standing at a crafting table, was quite enjoyable for me. Why am I in combat? Get me out of combat. How am I meant to longboy up if I'm stuck in combat? What's going on here? The hell am I stuck in combat with? Right, I need one of these. How's it called? Skaggle drink. I'm gonna buy a spare. I know what I'm like. Right, let's try that again. Reset dungeons. Actually, we'll have to do it on normal mode as well, won't we? I don't mind if they put stuff behind quests, but don't make you do extra quests just to level up the profession, in my opinion. Do it for the rarer recipes. I think these days with warband tech, they could still quote unquote make you do it the first time, but then make you not do it the second time if you want to level up a second profession, which is entirely viable. I don't object to there being a storyline and a quest line to professions generally. But true, there's nothing to say that like the alternative recipes couldn't be more creatively distributed.
I have committed no crime,
rather than kill boss, get lucky.
Whereas you and your associates have to answer for yours.
Crimes? Our crime was to sacrifice everything to save this world. We fought for Illidan.
Off topic, but not really. I got my act together on the War Within professions. I actually quite like the system once I figured out what the hell's going on.
Life, often at great risk. Too often.
We talk about the professions way too often, especially the current expansion ones, but they're not. They're just daunting at face value. They're they're a little bit. They're a little bit like. A little bit, but not quite the same as like Path of Exile's talent tree, for example. Like the professions now are not crazy difficult. Conceptually, multi-craft and resourcefulness are quite easy to get your head around. One gives you back some free materials from time to time, and one gives you some bonus crafts from time to time. The only issue is that the game doesn't do anything to... It doesn't really do anything to tell you what the potency level of those things are. Which is why we still to this day get the question of like, oh, is resourcefulness or multi-craft better?
Thank you for your help. Your intervention.
And it's like, well, free shit is always better than some of the shit you had to spend back.
You will find far more terrifying things lurking in our vault.
So I guess some people fall at the first hurdle, but they're really not overly complicated. It's just when you first pick up a profession, there's just a lot going on. You're trying to level, you're trying to get your gear, you're trying to chase knowledge points, you're trying to chase this soulbound currency. It's a lot thrown at you in one go, which can make it daunting. But something being daunting, I don't think is also, daunting doesn't necessarily mean overly complicated. Right, it was this one, wasn't it? Game just tells you that you lose 1,000 gold on every single craft. Well, it's not the game that's telling you that. You've got add-ons, namely Craft Sim, that's telling you that. That's not strictly the fault of the game. Now why can't I go through the door? Ugh. Am I going to have to abandon and go pick up the quest again and then come back here and do it all again? Ah, this is starting to be too much like hard work. Or do I need to kill this dude first?
How terribly disappointing.
That said, I'm being flummoxed by a flipping... Oh no, I've got a 5-minute cooldown on using the potion. Ah, God, this is far too much like hard work today. Right, I've got the doggo alarm clock going off in my ears anyway. Boys and girls, it's going to be a shorter stream today. I started late and I'm finishing early. That's really bad mojo, isn't it? But it's Monday. We're chilling. We'll be kicking it up about 5 gears once Alpha turns up. And if Alpha turns up before Remix, so be it. If Remix turns up first, so be it. I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm going to take my dogs for a walk whilst the weather's still reasonably nice. Boys and girls, thank you for joining. We'll be back tomorrow or Wednesday. I have some things I need to do tomorrow, so it's still a 50-50 on whether the stream will be up tomorrow. Either way, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by. Is there anybody online? There's not that many people online at this time of the day. I'll let you guys pick and choose where you disappear off to. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Come say hi on the Discord, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.